What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the 15th episode of the Niche Notable Podcast with Nick and 40. Today's episode, we have very special guest, Real Mitchell. Real is an NFL free agent and country music artist. He has a new album dropping very soon, and formerly, he played at Iowa State, Temple, and San Diego. Prior to that, he was a star quarterback out of St. John Bosco out in California and was a star on Netflix's QB1 series. Real, what's going on, man? Welcome to the pod.
Hey, happy to be here, man.
Absolutely. So I've been following your career since Netflix came out with that documentary. So it's cool to see your progression now that you're getting into music. But thanks for coming on. I appreciate your time.
No, I appreciate you following along the journey, man. It's been long and it's only getting written, only getting started.
Exactly. All right. So taking things way back, when did you start playing football? Like, what's your origin story with that?
Yeah, so I was really playing football as soon as I came out the womb, whether it was reset, flag, and then into tackle when I was 7. So it was always, something that I want to do, that my family wanted me to also do. So ever since I can remember, I was throwing the football, catching the football.
That's awesome. All right. So heading into high school, like, what brought you to St. John Bosco? There's a ton of high schools in the area, but what made that school stand out to you?
Yeah, that's a good question. So Bosco's actually about 48 miles away from my home, so it's a good little distance, good little push. Fortunately, my mom was doing most of the driving there. Obviously, had a little semester there senior year, got the license, but honestly, they were when I was in 8th grade coming out, they had just won state for the first time, I believe. Josh Rosen was the quarterback there, and so it was his junior season. And I was playing quarterback at the time, wanted to go somewhere where, I would have the best possibility of making it to the next level playing that. And, Bosco was the number 1 team in the country, it was riding high. And so, what better place to go to and compete than in a school like that?
Absolutely. So you had a great career there. Your junior year, won the state championship. Was that the year that you played against JT Daniels and Amon-Ra St. Brown? You guys beat them at Mater Day?
Oh yeah. Grew up beating them quite a bit. Quite. I'm kidding. But yeah. I don't know if that was the year because, like I said, they were there every year I was there. So it was a good little competition there. But we did end up beating Mater Day. Yeah, in like the round right before like state. So the CIF, I think, like championship was what it would be. Yep.
What was that atmosphere like? I remember watching all those under the radar videos on YouTube. It seemed like it was packed every single game. What was that week like preparing for that atmosphere?
Yeah, so going to Bosco, fortunate enough to kind of always have that week, year in and year out, where you're in a position to compete for that Southern Section championship and get an opportunity to play in state. And then when you're playing against someone that's in your league, what I mean, it definitely gives a little more fuel to the fire. And then on top of that, your league rival. I mean, come on now, where it's
Come on
everyone,
now.
yeah, everyone wants to see
Doesn't get
that.
better than that.
100%. People are coming from all across the country just to see that game, really. And Under the Radar really does do a good job capturing the moment. Honestly, in the moment, especially as my junior year, the year before that, I had came into that same exact game against Corona Centennial as a sophomore, down like 30 points in like the second quarter. So, game was kind of got out of hand early and it was able to bring us back, and we only lost, I think, by like a score. And so it was high scoring game. So had kind of been in this game already, and so was able to really. I think that game I used my legs a lot, and then in state ended up using my arm a lot to win that state title. But that game is exciting. Again, so many guys on that field that ended up playing Division 1 and are playing in the NFL now. So it was awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. So the lights have always been on you for a while. In high school, you're selected for QB1, a star, Netflix series. How did you get selected for that show? What was that process like?
Yeah, so honestly, it's a little underwhelming of a process, really. Um, the first season that came out, and I was, kind of close to Tate Martell, who was really the star of that first season. Just playing 7-on-7, we played for the same youth football team. I was a year younger than him, so he was someone I was definitely looking up to and looking forward to competing against. Um, And so I remember just in like physics class watching. It wasn't on Netflix yet. It was on a website called like Go 90 or something like that. And I was with my buddies, and we're just sitting watching. Like, man, this would be kind of cool if we could be on the next season. Didn't know if there would be another season or what that would look like, but I was thinking, we just came off winning state, number one team in the country. Had some interest from some Division I schools, so felt like I'd be a kind of good candidate. We'll see what happens, and ended up getting a DM on Twitter at the time from the producers, and they were like, "Hey, would you want to be on this show?" And I was like, "Yes, 100%."
I'm sure that's an awesome memory that you always look back on. Really cool time. And then during high school, you were also on the Elite 11. Were you in the same year with Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence? Was that your class?
Yep, that is my class. Funny, I actually got an Elite 11 shirt on right now.
There you go. Yeah.
But yeah, Justin Fields, Sam Hartman. Shoot. Oh, what? Tyler So was my roommate. How funny is that? He just got drafted to the Saints.
Yeah.
So
No kidding.
yeah. So he was my
He was in
roommate
college
there.
forever. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, I would be too if I could get another year. Trust me.
Yeah.
But yeah. So him, like you said, Trevor, Justin, Devin Leary, who's on the Ravens. So had a lot of good guys in that class for sure.
So coming out of high school, what brought you to Iowa State? What made that school stand out to you in the recruiting process?
Yeah, man, Iowa State's the best program in the country. Um, Honestly, there's nothing like it, nothing like Cyclone Power. The culture there, Coach Matt Campbell there is probably the best college coach out right now, especially since good old Nick is no longer coaching. I think the culture there, the players there really want to win and really prioritize winning. I know on my visit, instead of going out partying and stuff like that, guys were in the indoor facility working out on the weekends, and that's something that I really wanted to be a part of and kind of see that flourish. And hell, they're doing a great job now, competing for championships year in and year out, and so blessed to see it from afar and rooting for them.
Absolutely. So then after that, you go to Temple and USD, and then you make the change from quarterback to receiver, sort of like this multi-purpose player. What was that
Yeah.
change like, and how did it affect your abilities out there?
Yeah, so Temple was a great opportunity to just get experience. Had my first start there at quarterback. Had some great memories there, and then like you said, went on to USD where I kind of switched positions. Kind of became more of like a wide back, a term that Debo Samuel kind of phrased. Where I was still playing quarterback here and there, but I could also play tailback, and then I could also split out wide and play receiver. So that was really awesome to kind of experience that my fifth year. Then my sixth year kind of really just try to stick to playing receiver and try to hone in on that skill set, which was really fun. But man, that fifth year was special. Looking back on it, was able to do a lot of fun things. And even my sixth year, I played some quarterback here and there, but was able to throughout the career was able to throw multiple touchdowns, rush multiple touchdowns, and receive multiple touchdowns. So that's something looking back on super blessed to be in that situation.
Yeah, me and my buddies last spring we went to San Diego. We visited the school. It's a beautiful campus. I'm sure you had an awesome final few seasons there for sure.
Yeah, for sure. USD is beautiful. San Diego's awesome. Had a blast. Wanted to come back closer home, especially going from Iowa to Philly. And entering that portal again. Really wanted to, like I said, come closer to home. And what better place than San Diego?
Right. Are you still in the free agent market? You're still training for the NFL, or
Yes,
what's that
sir. Yes,
like?
sir. Training every day as hard as possible. I know, social media might not. My social media looks a little different nowadays, but best believe I'm working as hard as I possibly can to get another opportunity. Last season, off season, or I should say preseason, was with the Chargers for a little bit, and so hopefully here soon, maybe I can get another call from them or another team, but got to stay ready.
Absolutely. Love for the game still. That's great.
Oh yeah.
And then so you alluded to it. So moving on, you started your country music artist gig. So like when did that come about? When did you first get involved in that?
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I guess a year ago, draft happens, don't get a call immediately. And so I'm kind of left in a situation where I've, given really my whole life for an opportunity to play in the NFL and with that not immediately the situation, you only work out so much in one day, and trust me, I've tried to do all 24, and it's tough. But I was kind of in a situation where I'd actually just gotten out of like a 3-year relationship, and then didn't get drafted, so had a lot of like emotion built up. I've liked country music for a while, and I kind of got this deep interest in sound and voice. So I was like, heck, never sang before. Was not a singer. That was
Yeah,
not a thing. But I'm like, hell, I might as well, give it a shot. At the end of the day, like, if you don't take risks, like, you're not gonna, get any
of course.
rewards worth it. So wanted to kind of go that route, and I've been loving it so far. Like you said earlier, got an album coming out next Tuesday, the 27th.
Next
So
Tuesday. Where can we listen to that? Where are you gonna really? Is that on Apple Music or what's?
yeah, so album's called A Shot of Country, and that'll be on all streaming services. The single, or the title track, I should say, for the album's already out. And so hopefully, that song is getting people a little excited for what's coming down the road.
That's awesome. I'm very excited to hear it. So like going throughout your life, like you've experienced some obstacles everybody has. What are some keys that you've used to try to overcome those and still stay true to yourself and who you are?
Yeah, it's a great question. Man, my faith is rock solid. I think it has to be, and nowadays too, with so much influence on social media, and how our cell phones can really either hindrance or hinder our progress as young men and just people in general. But I think my faith, going back ever since I can remember, like especially like that QB1 show, there was some drama that unfolded, on that show that really made for good TV. So kudos to them. But
Yeah,
at the same time, as a young man developing, having the maturity and peace of mind to just have my faith in something and someone that's greater than I am is something that I've leaned on, whether it's, transferring multiple times to not getting a phone call, when you kind of expect it. All those things really battle test you, and that adversity just allows me to really grow more in my faith and my belief in Jesus Christ. And so that's the foundation of everything. And when it's all said and done, you're only on this earth for so long. What we really accomplish here, doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. It's really more so, how can I lead people to Christ? And through those adverse times, if people can see, him working in my life, then and that inspires them. That's the biggest thing for me.
that's very inspiring. So leaning on the Lord to help guide you, that's pretty cool. And then your family. So your mom was on a TV show, The American Gladiator. She was Blaze on the show, if I remember correctly. And then your dad was in the Marine Corps. So how have they impacted your life? How has their backgrounds really molded you as a person?
Yeah, definitely. And it's kind of funny too. Before I answer that exact question, my dad's from Alabama and my mom's from Bakersfield. So those are two country as hell parts of the world. So it's kind of like obviously just growing up playing football, but now like not in football per se right now. Looking at it from the grand scheme of things, it's kind of funny how like yeah, it makes a little more sense how I'm in country music now, if that makes sense. And I'm from Norco, which I don't know if you're familiar with Norco, California. It's U.S. It's
Not too much, no.
yeah, it's Horstown, USA. So I mean, it's all around here. But
Yeah.
yeah, my parents had a huge impact on my life. Like you had mentioned, my mom was a star on that '90s show, American Gladiators, and that was basically Joes versus pros type of thing where anyone could sign up and try to go against gladiators. And she had kind of built herself up to be in that situation, to be a gladiator. She was a track star at Nebraska, has multiple records there, and then competed in the '84 Olympics. And so she's a stud, and my dad was also a stud. Like you said, was a Marine, 30 years. So he definitely put his time in, and they definitely installed a lot of discipline and work ethic in me. And so I'm trying to do my part, giving back to them, keep my head down, and continuing to give 100% in everything I do.
Yeah, huge kudos to them. All right, so
For sure.
heading into our final question of the day, the niche notable question, kind of an odd one, but so what is your dream country band that you can form with other football players? Like, who's 4 guys other than yourself that you would like to bring together into a country band?
Wow. All right. All right. That's a good question. That's a good question. All right. So I assume I should pick NFL players. So like everyone kind of
Yeah,
knows. You know what I mean? All right. Let's go. All right. I'm gonna be the lead singer. All right. Let's put that one there. Okay.
of course. Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. George Kittle on the drums. I feel like that's peak. That's peak right there. That's peak. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. CD Lamb on the electric guitar. Got to have some dreads. You know, a lot of flow going. A lot of flow.
Yeah.
That's a big. A lot of flow. Head rock in there. Let's get now. Oh yeah. Let's get Travis Kelce on the bass. Let's get him on the bass here. Yeah. That. Woo. Yeah. We're having some fun times there.
Good
Um,
crew so far. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh man. And then let me get one more, right? Let's go one more. Let's see here. I'm gonna bring somebody out of retirement. I'm gonna bring someone out of retirement here. Let's put this guy on the fiddle. Let's put this guy on the fiddle. Let's give me Rob Gronkowski. Let's go.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Here's the song, Busting with the Boys. That guy
There you
is
go.
hysterical.
Yeah.
You got 3 tight ends in there. Love it. Good crew. CD Lamb
There
and
you
you.
go. There you
That's
go.
awesome.
Oh yeah.
All right, Real. Well, I really appreciate your time. I think this was a great pod. Wishing you the best with your album coming out next week. So yeah, looking forward to following your success in the future for sure.
No, man, I appreciate you having me on. I think also I think there's a good chance I'm gonna be on this show on Netflix called Pop the Balloon. You've probably
Balloon.
maybe seen it on like TikTok. It's like that hilarious little dating show where people are popping balloons and stuff like
Yeah.
that. That's on the horizon here. I'm not too sure what episode I'll be on there, but it's like a live show every Thursday.
Okay.
That is on the
Yeah.
horizon, so stay tuned for that. There you
All
go.
right.
Bye.
I'll look out for it.
Thanks, man.
All right, man.